Okay, as you can see, the table is just a little shaky. It has to do with that, you know, there's no side supports on these things, no structural coming from each direction. So I'm going to put these in on every leg, and this will give the table a little bit more stability. It's not that it's going to fall over or anything, but I just like to be a little more secure on it. Let's get started. So in order to put these on like this, these are a 45 and a 45. So if we summate this and this, it's 90, so that'll give us this 90-degree angle here. Okay, so 90, right? I need to get a screw to go up into here, and then I'll need probably 2, maybe 3 on each leg to keep this thing stable. Of course, I'm using, you know, the Grip Fast T25s. Just they're so much better than Phillips heads. If I was doing this in Phillips heads, these would all be stripped out by the time they got in. So let's get this going. Now the way that these are being drilled out, I'm going to zoom in on this. Alright, I need to drill this straight down. So I can't just start drilling here, because as you can see, the drill bit's just going to bounce around and go wherever it wants. So a trick that I've learned over the years is if you start perpendicular, put a little bit of a hole in there, and then very slowly rotate this up. Now you've got something that you can drill straight through. You know, you can drill that straight through. So this will take a screw straight down in like that. So just a little trick that I do. So placing this on here, I could try to hold it, but using a speed clamp is better. If you ever use these things, they're really good. Always point the bar away from you if you can. It'll keep it out of your way and running into it, and you can get hurt by one of these things. I've seen people really get their arms tore up. Now again, I can't talk enough about Grip Fast screws. If I was doing this with a Phillips head, I would have to have so much pressure on this thing, and I could be sitting there and just coming back and forth with these and doing this one-handed. It would be really tough to do that. In the last videos, you guys have seen me putting up these screws where I'm literally putting the drill like this above my head, and I'm on my tippy toes trying to do it. No way in the world could I have done that with a Phillips head. These are just so much better. They also do bite pretty well, and there's no way I would have done that with a Phillips head. Okay, so I'm not telling you what screws to use, but these are the only ones that I will use. So I'm going to get busy. As you can see, now this is not going to go anywhere. I don't have to worry about this leg collapsing on me in case I do have something heavy or if I bump into the side of this. This leg's not going to go anywhere. I need to finish up on the rest of the legs, and then this will be, we'll be done with this project. All right, so real quick, some people are going to think that putting this in at an angle would be just fine. See how much we're biting into here, and that's all the way in. So that's not much wood it's biting into, right? Look at this one. This one here still has screw coming out, and we still have about the same amount, and we're not even all the way in. So that's one reason. The second reason is physics. All right? If you put this board in like this, and I lean on this table, this post, this screw, is going to keep this from separating, and it's also going to keep it from pushing this way. If I have this in at an angle, like this, all right, it may stop it from going this way, but once you start getting pressure on that on this board's going to want to come down. All right, and that's right in line with where this, you maybe look at it better at this. You can see this is coming apart easier this way than up this way because you can't get that force on it. I could put together a force diagram, but I think this makes a lot more sense. So this is done. You can see it's tightened it up. It's more sliding on the floor back and forth, the whole table is, instead of just rocking. When I was up doing the lights, it was kind of a little, I was a little uneasy up there because it was literally rocking back and forth just a little bit. But now that this is done, I can start planing out the end of the bench and start getting that table saw taken apart and mounted up in there. The first thing that's going to happen is once we get that the frame in place, is I have to build a dust collector. And it's going to be a dust collector that is going to use a two-stage dust collector basically. So one stage will suck in all the air and the sawdust, and then that sawdust should drop to the bottom of that pail while air continues on out the other side. I'm going to try to set this up so I can put this in my other barn, so it's not going to be as bad on my you know, everyone, you're going to hear that all the time. So So we can get it in the other barn, run tubes down there, be more like a central vac, if you will, but isolated for, you know, tools. So I need to get busy on getting that design so I can get the next video started. Thanks again for visiting the workshop. If you liked the video, click like, subscribe to see more, hit alerts if you want to get alerted on stuff, and I'll see you next time in the workshop.